What's up guys, and welcome to my channel Flame with 4. In this issue 56 from Build a Terminator T-800, we are just going to be cracking on with this in a moment. What I want to do is I want to show you that I finally went and got an Aurea set from Amazon. So that was from Amazon. If you want the link to buy one of these for yourself, actually really nice piece of kit there. I will leave the link in the description for you. Now, let me just quickly take this out of here because this is actually coming along really lovely. Let's have a look what we have. So this is where we're going to do Build a Terminator T-800, assembling the right hip joint. So it looks like we're going to be assembling some hip joint on here, which is going to be fun. Right, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to check all our pieces. So let's just do that now. We might as well do that in real time because it doesn't look like there's too many bits in this kit for today. So I haven't actually tried out any of these to see which ones fit. So we will do that as we go along. Plastic piece there. That's a metal piece. That's another plastic piece. Two really long screws. Two more really metal pieces there. So that's a metal joint, as we've had plastic joints in the previous issue, so that's really good that we've got those. So let's have a quick look. So the hip joint is going to be 56-1, which will just be this piece here. 56-2 is going to be that piece there, which has got that cut out section there. 56-3 is going to be this outer casing for the hip joint. That was the inner casing for the hip joint. 56-4 is this metal piece here with the little knobbly bit on the top, which looks like a hat, a Tin Man's hat from Wizard of Oz. 56-4, that's the domed cap for the hip joint. Also 56-5 is going to be the outer cap for the hip joint, so that's going to be this one here. And then we're going to have 5x PM 2x 18mm screws, and then they're going to be the longer ones, which are these ones here. And then 56-7 is going to be the 8mm screws, which is just two of them, and they're just there. So what we need to quickly do, I don't want to hold you up too much guys, you can fast forward through if you need to, is test which one of these is going to be good for the build. So I'm going to go with this one. That's going to be a PH1, I reckon. So let's have a look at the PH1, see if that fits on there nicely. So that's too big, so the PH1 is too big for that. Let's try the PH00 and have a look how that one goes in. Yeah, so the PH00 feels really good out of that kit. So PH00 is probably where we're going to be with that. Let's just open up this other pack and make sure it fits in there as well. So PH00, yeah, absolutely spot on. So that fits in there really lovely. So let's just take this out quickly. And then just pop that in there. This should be magnetic, I'm hoping, so that'll be really good. Let's see what it wants us to do first of all. So we need to go grab this other piece. So this is the piece from issue 55. So you need to go grab that. You need to make sure you don't smash that. You need to make sure you go grab that. I just slot that back into there. And we are going to be working on that section there. So what it's saying for us to do, step 1, to take the thigh assembly from issue 55 and place it in the orientation shown, fit the inner hip casing, which is going to be this one. So we just need to fit that in around those circular pieces there. So that looks perfect. So there you go. So that just pushes into there. And then now you've got the 4 holes that are exposed there, ready for the next section. So let's see what else it wants us to do. So it's saying step 2. We need to fit the hip joint 56-1 inside the joint opening so that it sits in the inner joint casing. Okay, cool. So it needs to fit into there. So what it wants us to do, it wants us to put, oh my god, this is all falling apart. Be careful guys, this is why this is why you're watching this video, so you don't break this. So it says it's got to go like that. You need to turn it up around this way, but you need to make sure that you don't let that bit fall out. So then this hip joint here will go through there like so and hold into position like that, and that should stick out there like that. So it's really hard to kind of show you, but it should go in there like that, so the hip joint is sitting in there. And then when you turn it around this way, you will see that it's sitting in like that. So that's how that wants that to go. So you just got to make sure all that stays together. You have some tape, I would recommend. I don't have any tape local right now, to tape that together so that it doesn't keep falling apart. We do need to go and get him, because we have got to fit this to our man himself. So we're going to go grab him and put him in position. We have got a trusty screwdriver now, so just going to make sure there's some space and move some pieces out of the way, because we're going to bring him in. So come on boy, you got to be worked on. So there you go. So we just lay him on here, and it's saying that we need to fit it to 51-2, which 51-2 is this side of him. So you want to do it so it's on the side where his arm is already built. So that's what we need to do there. So right, so what it's saying for us to do here is telling us to put the hip joint into position. So it does fit on there quite nicely. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that out of there, and I'm just going to see if there's a way it goes in. Yeah, so there is a recess that's cut out in there, so you need to make sure it sits into that recess. So there is a recess cut out here, you can see that. That has to sit in that recess so it doesn't turn, because that hip joint needs to stay steady and in position. But you have to do that through the leg. We'll go into there, and then we need to make sure that that lines up. So once that's lined up, that won't move anymore. So that's it, that's got it there, so that's in position. Leave it there, do not touch it. And then we need to go and put in one of these thicker ones, so the smaller screw here, which is to fix part 56-1 in place with PM3 x 8mm screw. At this stage the joint will be quite loose. Ensure the screw is fully tightened. So we're going to go put that in now. So that's just got to go through there. Make sure you get it straight and level. So hopefully that will go in. What we're going to have to do is possibly put the extension on this, because this does not reach in there without the extension. So let's pop the old extension on. Cool, look at the size of this thing. And put that in there. That seems like it's quite a fair distance just to put a screw into place, to be fair. I mean, if you have a smaller one, you'd probably be better off. But we're gonna try and go with this. I'm not too sure if that's even going to fit in that hole. So we need more of a long reach. So again, no, that's not going to fit. So you can't use this to do that. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to revert back to the normal screwdriver. This one goes in fine. So let's just pop that in. It goes in quite far, that's the issue. It goes in really, really far. Well, let's just do that up. We don't need to do it up mega tight, but we do need to do it up tight enough so that it stays in place. I managed to find the right screwdriver that I needed to do that up with. So this one's a nice thin long one. So this thing at the minute is not really good for what I want, because you know, it doesn't fit in there. So that's not great. So it's probably good for some other stuff where we're doing the things on the outside, but on this piece specifically, it's not really good. So right, so the next thing it's asking us to do is to piece in this black hip joint. So that's got to go in the hole there. So let me see if I can turn him around so you can see what we're doing here. So that needs to go into, again, it's just trying to fall apart. That needs to go into this hip joint. I'm going to have to see and then turn it around and show you, because it needs to go around those four joints in there. So let's have a look, because that's got to go over the top of that joint, and it's got to show the holes. Okay, that wasn't too bad. That was quite easy. It's quite easy to do. I don't want it to fall apart, but I'm going to hold it in position and try and show you. So there you go. So that just sits in there, and then it has it going around there. Once we screw it together, I'll show you closer. But at the minute, I don't want it to all fall apart again. Right, so yeah, more of a challenge, thanks. So what it wants us to do now, it wants us to add this metal section here, this piece. That needs to go on where the knobbly bit is on the outside. So let's try and install that in there as well. So that just needs to sit in around there. So yeah, that goes over fine. So that's perfect. You see that went in there quite well. And then it wants us to have this section here, this piece. This will go over the top. Again, it needs to line up with those screw holes. So you need to put it on, and then you need to turn it until it goes onto those screw holes there. And to hold that into position, we need to put these 4 long ones. So I'm just going to quickly go do that, guys. I'll fast forward for putting them 4 in, and then we'll hopefully be able to show you nice and close up of that, what that looks like. Okay guys, that is now done and complete, so I'll just quickly put this around and show you. This does still slide off, so you need to still be quite careful with this. I'm just going to turn them around this way so you can see. This section here is still sliding off there, so it's still coming off like that way, which I'm not sure why, or whether it's supposed to be doing that or not. It might just be that I haven't done up the middle screw enough, or it hasn't actually attached itself enough, so I might have to just double check that. So we'll come back to that in a moment. But once that is all secure in place, that should look something like that. So the 4 screws just go in there, and that holds all that into place. We just had to just go over those screws again, just took them back out and just put them back in again, so it's a lot tighter now. I'm just going to bring them around just to show you. So there you go, so that's what it's supposed to be like. So that's a lot stiffer now, so as you can see the joint is a lot more stiffer. Just we didn't have those 4 screws in very well, so what I did is just took them back out again, just popped them back in, and now it's sitting there really nicely. So what we need to do is just check the magazine. He's getting so big he does not fit on the screen barely. Right, so now we've done those bits, the death of star formation in extreme galaxies, and then again we'll be back to finish the right hip joint and assemble a leg part. So please join me again for the next issue. Will be issue 57 of Build a Terminator T-800. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, bye bye.